Now we also have Malcolm. Malcolm Silver is an investor, and you've been doing this how long?
11 years.
11 years. And what type of properties are you involved with?
I like downtown storefront commercial properties. I like properties that are typically run down, that are a mess, and I like to buy them in areas that are rising. That are
Okay,
still
so you'll
not
go through the
good,
trouble of fixing them up, improving all
I
of
do that
them.
whole thing, being patient.
How do you find the
Working.
market downtown these
Market
days?
downtown is very difficult at the moment. There's very little for sale, and what there is for sale has a tendency to be at the moment very overpriced, and a lot of people are sitting unable, even receiving very high offers for property, or still refusing to sell them because they don't know what else to do with the money. And so it's a difficult market down at the
Now, a
moment.
lot of the product you look at are more the storefront retail stores, and traditionally they may have retail, residential
Yeah.
tenants above. So you
Typical.
have, yeah.
That's typical. That's
So the
classic
a little
property
bit
for me.
more older areas,
yeah.
some going into transition. A lot of these areas, though, I've noticed, sort of commercial agents assembling blocks of land. So, you know, you talk about a shortage of product. I mean, I don't think it's going to get any better
No, I
anytime
don't
soon.
think so either.
And I mean, I'm seeing
Yep.
portions of blocks being bought up and being torn down, especially downtown, to make way for condos.
Well, all downtown is going to rise. It's
I
going-
mean,
going to be much better.
anywhere south of Yonge and north of Yonge and Bloor. I mean, you're just seeing chunks, pieces just being assembled and bought out, and see, the key for these investors, for that type of investor, is they can overpay somewhat, because what they're going to put in its place is higher priced.
Yep.
So from an investment point of view, they can get away with it, and they can offer to pay prices you wouldn't pay.
Right. Their perspective's completely different from mine.
Right. Now, what do you do? I mean, you go further afield, you're mentioning you're going to Hamilton, for example.
I'm increasingly looking at areas like Hamilton, which I'm a strong believer in. I'm also a believer in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, but I like Hamilton best. And I just keep looking downtown, like eventually.
Do you go
find-
anywhere east?
I've looked in Queen East and Gerrard East.
No, but I mean even east of Toronto,
No, I haven't
Oshawa, for
gone-
example.
No, I haven't looked there. Not at
Okay.
all.
Because I know I have some investors that look out that way. It's a different kind of product, but Hamilton is becoming somewhat hotter as well.
I think Hamilton will become good. I think ultimately Hamilton will become a suburb of Toronto, and I think
Like Burlington, Oakville, but even Oakville is overpriced in some of the stuff you're looking for. Like they're redoing the whole downtown areas.
very
and-
expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Now you two are working together.
We have worked
You
together,
have,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've brought Malcolm a couple of investment properties to assess over the last couple of years. And we're still working on one particular property where a gentleman retired, and it's exciting. I always, I'll just email Malcolm the sites, and he'll get back to me very promptly whether he has interest in the site. Yeah.
It's interesting. So residential aspect of it is something that you don't really want to get in. The residential leasing is something sort of the bad that goes with the product you do want.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on where the market's going? Interest rates are good.
I think it's just going to get better and better. I think you just have to be very patient and persevering. That's all.
Yeah, with the interest rates seemingly on hold since last year, in some areas experiencing tax freezes to promote investment. We've seen from last February to this February 2012 a year-over-year increase of about 8%.
Wow.
In number of transactions, which is a reverse of the trend which is occurring over the last probably 3-4 years, where sales have increasingly declined year over year. So that's a sign of a market where you might see
And cap rates are
pretty
good?
year. Cap rates are typically going downwards.
Yeah.
And that's been the trend over, since I started in the business. You know, you'd hear 9% cap. That was like the fabled Loch Ness Monster. What do you mean a 9%? But now,
And there's a big difference.
7.5%,
Yeah,
6.5%.
what I see within Toronto, quite different than when you see what you see outside of Toronto.
And a
Big
lot of the time
difference.
when you have these investment properties or condo sites, the seller has in mind that this is a development site, and the buyer has to understand that they may not be getting the cap rate that they want, or the
And
return.
some buyers, because of what their potential use is going to be, they don't care.
Okay.
Or they're just looking for a safer place to put it than on the market.
Well, that's
right?
an interesting comment, because many of our clients are here with money, and Canada, Toronto, Ontario is a very politically safe and financially safe haven. And from their perspective, they don't mind paying some of the prices because of what they're accustomed to from where they come, or where they see putting the money, even though they may make less, is safe compared to where they're coming from. So it does make some sense. We also have people, I'm seeing people go further north. I mean, it was Aurora, then Newmarket. Now I have Innisfil, I have Barrie. And it just keeps going. I mean, small strip plaza. Stouffville at one time, it was interesting. My thought on Stouffville was like so far away, and now it's like around the corner, and and product that was very inexpensive, again, is very expensive today. I mean, just like I'm seeing, we had a 4-store commercial little strip plaza and a fuel station, and it's like crazy prices. And then you deal with environmental issues, which is another issue to deal with.
No, a pleasure.
Yeah, that is the difference between the residential agent and the commercial agent as well. There's a lot more knowledge that needs to be understood about the property, because it's an investment. It's not a place where somebody is living, but it's a place where somebody is investing. And so a person like Malcolm will carefully look at those reports to see, you know, how the ground soil looks, and what were the previous uses in the property or the land beforehand. And we're always learning more and more about.
How do you find the financing for some, like, financing's an issue too. It's interesting, because if I'm preparing, if I'm involved in preparing or reviewing an agreement for the purchase of something, it's almost like, what lender are you going to use? It's almost, my offer is geared for like my wish list, or my demand of the things I want from a seller is almost geared to what that lender's going to want. Environmental reports are an example, current survey. These are things that I'm going to have to satisfy some lender. So these are a lot of issues involved, but how do you find it's difficult to get financing, that there's not as many sources of financing?
If you've got an environmentally unsound property,
Well,
that for sure
absolutely.
you can't get financing.
But in general,
no, the money is out there.
I'm starting to see a lot of private money, even in the residential
But
side.
you can
private
borrow
money.
even from conventional banks.
Oh,
and trust
absolutely.
companies.
But when you think
that is not the problem.
Okay, when you deal with lenders, though, if you were a lender, keeping my money in the bank for 1%, when I can get it out for a lot more, there's a lot more private money around. Anyways, we're running out of time. I want to thank Malcolm and Michael for being here. Let's just hope there's a lot more product for you on the market. And if you need a good commercial retail leasing person, there's Michael. If people want to get in touch with you at Remax Commercial Advisors.
Yeah, we have a website, www.rcatoronto.com, and I have my own website as well, which is michaeldavidsonproperty.com.
Okay, and if people want to get in touch with Malcolm with product?
It's, msilver.com is the website, and the phone is 416-488-3393.
Now, like if someone, I suppose I don't get commission if someone calls you a product. Oh, we don't take commission. Don't worry, Malcolm.
I'll pretend I didn't hear.
Okay. Thank you very much. Look forward to our next show together, and have a nice week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.